It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Welcome to Flat Out Elected. My name is Rand Campbell. And I. Woo! Listen, we are in a war. This is a battle right now in these days. And the battle, simply put, is between truth and deception, the light and the dark. And there are a lot of people that unfortunately have been imprisoned into the dark by the deceptions of this world. It matters not to me that you understand this or that you believe this. But the truth is the truth, and the truth does not require you believing it in order for it to be true any more than a lie requires you knowing it's a lie in order for it to be a lie. This world has been designed by deception. And we're going to look at one of the greatest deceptions in this world, which leads to a much greater deception. And this deception that we're going to look at was absolutely 100% for sure. Come on now. For sure, this deception is a part of an even bigger deception. But we're going to take a look at something here. We're going to take a look at the moon landing. That's right. I know you've seen it before. You've probably discarded it. Some of you have looked deep into it and come to realize that absolutely we did not land on the moon. No way, no way, no way. However, if you listen to what's being said in between the cracks of this deception, and there's cracks in this deception, you got to look for them. But if you listen, you'll hear the deceivers, those put in positions of power to deceive those that are willing to be deceived. If you listen to them carefully, you're going to hear them telling you the truth. Because no matter what, the truth always comes out.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen.
Now I know that after hearing that clip, after hearing Buzzed All Day, also known as the astronaut Buzz Aldrin, after hearing him say that, you're trying to hold on to your cognitive dissonance. You're trying to fight your way through that and figure out a way to make that not be what he actually said. But hold on. There's more evidence coming. You just hold on to that cognitive dissonance. Let's look a little deeper.
Find out all the lessons that will eventually let us go to the moon and even further away.
Find out all the lessons that will eventually let us go to the moon. Find out all the lessons that will eventually let us go to the moon.
That was Chris Hadfield. Maybe it's just me, but I find him to be so cringy, just over the top fake. He is literally an actor, a good enough actor for stage NASA, but maybe not good enough for Hollywood. Or maybe he is. You know, because he's a Canadian astronaut, Canadians absolutely adore him and hold him on the highest of pedestals. It is very difficult to get Canadians to see through him, because what they as well do, not only do they put these Christless actors in positions of power to influence, they make sure that they do it in a way that tugs at your heartstrings. They give you an emotional attachment to these deceivers, so it makes it even more difficult to see through them. This is a part of the programming. This is a part of the indoctrination. This is a part of how they get you to fall for these deceptions. They tug at your heartstrings. They try to articulate the deception in a way that makes it very difficult for people to even want to see past the deception. You end up getting a heavy state of cognitive dissonance, in that you get angry that this could be a lie, that this could be a deception, that a guy like Chris Hadfield, a Canadian hero, could be a deceiver. How could he be a deceiver? He's our Canadian astronaut. He's amazing. He's brilliant. No, he's an actor, period. And he's very cringy. And if you look into him and all of the shenanigans, the silliness that he does on this international swimming station, and you have even the slightest, a sliver of common sense, you're going to see right through him. He is a joke. And we should be, at this point, in our wisdom, in our advanced knowledge, as per the increased knowledge being received here in this world, we should be able to recognize truth. We should be able to see it. But I digress. I know that there are still those of you at this point in this video that are arguing in your minds that we have been to the moon, and that Chris Hadfield and Buzz Aldrin are real astronauts. And they really are smarter than us, and they really are scientists, and they are who they say they are. And what I'm telling you is they are absolutely not. But let's take a look at some more evidence.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
When you said that just now, did it sound stupid to you? Kind of.
I know. I would, at this point, assert that even the greatest of NASA fanboys, or, space junkies, moon landing believers, at the very least would say, yeah, that did kind of come off pretty stupid. But this is what they do, is they throw these little nuggets of ridiculousness out at you, kind of in the hopes that you get out of your own way and figure it out. But I'm sure there are some of you right now that are face palming and possibly even broke your glasses. I hope that's not the case. But with that being said, there is no argument at this point in the information and in the discovered facts of this moon landing that, guess what? It simply didn't happen. They did not land on the moon. And if you believe Don Pettit, and if you believe Buzz All Day Aldrin, and if you believe Christless Hatfield, if you believe them, then I would strongly suggest you continue watching this video, because that's right, there's more evidence to come. I'll wait for you to put your glasses back on, tape them up, or whatever it is you got to do. Let me give you a quick minute. Are you ready? Okay, let's take another look.
We live in a rapidly changing environment, a fast-paced world where information is constantly changing. We rely on governments and institutions put in place to ensure the accuracy of the information we receive. But what happens when those governments and institutions lie? On July 20th, 1969, the United States successfully landed Apollo 11 on the moon. Neil Armstrong took those first historic steps, and the American flag was planted to commemorate the occasion. To date, the United States is the only country to have successfully conducted manned missions to the moon, or so we've been told. Flash forward to 2010. The NASA Authorization Act of 2010 was passed by Congress and signed into law. The Authorization Act required a newly designed Space Launch System and the construction of a beyond low Earth orbit spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft was chosen to fulfill this role. Flash forward to 2017. Leaving low Earth orbit now seems to pose new challenges. According to NASA, getting a manned mission through the Van Allen belts is something they need to figure out and develop new technologies and materials for. We haven't been out of low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit is only between 99 to 1,200 miles away. The moon is 238,900 miles away. If we can't get out of low Earth orbit now, how did we do it in 1969? How did we get the astronauts through the Van Allen belts without the newly developed heat shield technologies and materials? Listen to these NASA clips and hear some of what they have to say.
We are headed 3,600 miles above Earth, 15 times higher from the planet than the International Space Station. As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
The Van Allen radiation belts. Where were they in 1969 when they sent the first rocket to the moon? How'd they get through in their little tinfoil contraption of a spaceship? Well, how exactly does that work? I guess you never thought of that. Well, they're telling you they can't get out of Earth's lower orbit. They can't do it. Now, they call it the Van Allen radiation belt, but that's not what it is. We're gonna see what it is a little later in this video. But make no mistake about it, even that is a lie. There is no radiation belt, period. There's another reason why they can't go to the moon. There's another reason why they can't get out of lower Earth orbit. But there you go. There's yet again them telling you in the cracks of the deception they can't go to the moon. They've never done it. They never will do it. It's impossible. It's all a complete and total deception. But I'm sure there's still some of you left right now in this video listening to me, shaking your heads and trying to figure out how you're going to debunk the very words of your heroes, the very words of your idols. Because that's what these people become. They become your idols. And it's very important that you do not have idols in this world, because idols operate in a position to deceive. And that's exactly what has happened, is that these idols, these people in positions of power and influence with the platforms to deceive us, to lie to us, have been made idols, in that gives them the authority over you. And you've allowed this. This is all on you. But then again, you know, we're gonna take another look at some more stuff here and then close up the video. But I sincerely hope that you guys realize at this point that your only reason for believing this is cognitive dissonance. You are angry that you could be fooled, and therefore you refuse to accept the truth. But you have to understand that we've all been fooled. We have all been lied to. We have all received this deception and lived it out and repeated it time and time again to others. You're not the only one that has been fooled. Once you realize that, and you realize, oh, okay, so this deception has caught everybody in its trap, then you might be able to loosen the grip on your cognitive dissonance, loosen the grip on your indoctrination, and come to know the truth. But that may take a little more time. This video probably won't be the end of your cognitive dissonance. Hopefully it will be the beginning of the ungripping of the deceptions. But let's continue. There's a little more here for you. Get your glass back on. Come on.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go. The earth is a closed system.
The earth is a closed system.
We cannot leave the earth.
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 The earth is a closed system. That the earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go. The earth is a closed system.
The earth is a closed system.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Ay. If you do even 20 minutes worth of research into this guy, you'll find out that he is nothing more than a Disney actor. Same with Neil deGrasse Tyson, an actor. This is so easy to figure out. I mean, it really is as simple as dropping your ego and being able to admit you could be wrong. You could have been lied to. Bill Nye, the science lie. Another one. Like, how does anybody take him seriously? I find him, again, like the rest of them, to be so obviously deceptive. It's acting. It's not authentic, what they're saying or what they're doing. It really isn't. It can be frustrating explaining these truths to certain people, because literally it's like trying to explain color to a blind man. It's just like that. Ay. But you know what? There you have it. I mean, this is a small portion of evidence against NASA. And NASA, by the way, means deceiver in Hebrew. Go ahead, you can research that. Their logo is a serpent's tongue piercing through a halo. The truth is right there in plain sight. And so let me explain to you what the Van Allen radiation belts really are, because that's a lie. There's a good reason why they can't leave Earth's lower orbit. There's a reason. but it's not these radiation belts. It's a dome. There is a dome above us that prevents them from going anywhere. They can't leave this enclosed system, just like Bill Nye, your science guy, just like he said, we are in an enclosed system. We are on a flat, non-moving plane, and there is a dome over us. The sun and the moon with the stars are all in the firmament. The firmament is a dome. We are literally living in a greenhouse, which is a clock and which is a compass. This is God's creation, not man's. The reason why they tell you you're on a spinning wet ball rocket is to remove God, to remove the Creator. And guess what? It's worked with a lot of people. There are even Christians that think we've gone to the moon, although they've never, I guess they've never read the story of Babel, where they tried to build a tower to reach the heavens and God put an end to it. All of these rockets that you see leaving for the International Swimming Station, they all curve into the ocean. Not one of them goes straight up into space, because that's not where they're going. They're crashing into the ocean. There's nobody in these supposed rockets. They're empty. The real truth is very, very simple to those with eyes to see and ears to hear. All of it, every single thing that we see going on in this world is anti-God, anti the Creator. Everything that you see them doing to deceive this world is to keep you from knowing God. The bottom line is this: God absolutely does exist. God absolutely did create humanity and everything here in his creation known as flat earth. The earth is flat. They know it, and now some of us know it. The question is, are you ready to know it? Because once you know that, then you know for sure there is a Creator, and you know for sure that you have significance with the Creator. They're lying, and they're trying to remove you from knowing God. Do not let it happen a second further. I sincerely hope this video pierced somebody's heart, opened somebody's mind, and broke through the cognitive dissonance and shattered the indoctrination. If you enjoy these videos, sub the channel, share the videos, hit the bell for updates, go to Flat Out Elected 2. That's our backup channel as well. Go to Flat Out Elected, the community on Google. Join us there, put some videos, meet some people, have some good discussions. If it's in your ability, donate to the orphanage, of which I will put the link in the description as well. If you want, you can become a Patreon to this channel, which would be greatly appreciated. You can also PayPal me if it's in you to do so. I sincerely hope you guys are blessed. I hope this video really blesses you guys. And those of you that are still indoctrinated to this absolute lie that we went to the moon, come on, wake up. Enough is enough. Bring the truth to the light, and that which lives in the darkness will be exposed. I sincerely hope that God blesses you guys thoroughly. You guys take care of yourselves.
Is when you talking to the principalities and reminding the powers and telling them who you are and what's going to happen. That's when you get an attitude. We have access to God with boldness and confidence. We can go boldly to the throne of God. We can go confidently to him. But what does the devil do? He keeps bringing up your past. He keeps bringing up your failures. He keeps bringing up your shortcomings. I'm not going to God on the basis of my righteousness, not my righteousness. I'm going on the basis of his righteousness and who he is.